of the questions I get asked oftentimes is, how do you know the right kind of business for me? And typically what I want to do is start in finding out about that person, about you individually. And the way we do that, we have a scientifically proven method called the entrepreneur profile. This is a tool that we use, and it's been proven time after time and it pulls out people's motivations and value system, because that is the basis of how I determine the right kind of business. What we see are 4 profiles. There's combinations of that, but I'm going to walk you through each single one of them so we can tell which business may be right for you. An achiever, as you might expect, is somebody who's in charge. They're the boss. They like to get things done. In fact, if you're an achiever, you're probably done watching this video because it's not quick enough. So when I'm working with somebody who profiles that way, I want to make sure and find them a business that they can scale, that they can grow, that they can build an empire. Because a lot of times that's really what they're looking for. These are people who are not looking for a hobby business. In fact, they can't understand why anyone really would want that kind of a business. And so today I'm going to talk about the belonger profile. And this is really something I like to call the team leader profile. This is somebody who is all about teams. When I look at people who profile this way as a belonger, what I tend to see is that these are the people who are most likely to buy a franchise. They tend to be great with people. They tend to be great at building teams. And they're the people who might say and resonate with this, teamwork makes the dream work, that kind of thing. And so the other thing that I find with this type of personality is that they really are family and friend oriented. So these are the people that can pull the groups together and everyone wants to follow them because they help build that sense of belonging. And that's really where the name for this comes from. The third of the profiles that we've talked about, we've hit 2 so far, and this one is the emulator. In fact, this is my profile. Emulators, oftentimes, they're the innovators. They're the ones who really have to see innovation. They're the ones who start out, they've got the latest, greatest iPhone. They're not afraid to take risks. They like to get into things that are pioneering. They're the first ones to maybe, head out west back in the old days. So that's the idea behind this profile. The other thing is they tend to be really good at sales. They tend to be very good with people, but they also tend to care a little bit more about prestige than practicality. So when I look for a business for an emulator, I want to make sure that it has that prestige, or if not prestige, that they can be very, very successful. That's one of the key drivers for somebody who profiles this way. They want to have success, they want to be prosperous, they want to make a profit. And so this is also one of the elements that we look for. The last category I'm going to talk about is something called a societal. If you are interested in the idea of taking this entrepreneur profile assessment, you may be a societal because they're very interested in scientific approaches and that type of thing. Think about the wise owl. That's the type of person this is. And it's also somebody who cares about helping the greater good in many cases. In fact, I work with somebody who was maybe thinking about a business, and they ended up really digging into their role in their corporate job, but they needed to get into the community service aspect of their position. And that's really what gave them the motivation to stay with that job. So if you maybe don't feel like you fit in corporate America, you may be part societal. If you want to find out a little bit more, go ahead and scan over this QR code and take the entrepreneur profile, and we'll see if this is how you profile or maybe another way. Again, if you really are interested in taking it, you probably are a societal. We'll see if that works.